Rugby has tons of stars, but some of the best players barely get half the attention they deserve. So today we're counting down the top 10 most underrated rugby players in 2025. And yes, everyone on this list is a current national team player. Let's get into it. Starting with number 10, we've got Darcy Graham. He's explosive, fast, and a proven try-scorer, yet he doesn't get the global hype of other elite wingers. Injuries slowed him down, but when he's on the field, he's Scotland's spark plug. Perhaps the clearest indicator of being underrated was his surprising omission from the British and Irish Lions squad for the tour to Australia. His form leading up to the selection was described as electric, and fan polls showed he was the overwhelming fans' choice as the unluckiest player to miss out. An omission of this magnitude, despite his consistent excellence, suggests a significant underappreciation by the wider rugby establishment. He has been plagued by injury in the past, including missing 2 recent Six Nations tournaments, which momentarily removed him from the annual conversation about the world's best wingers. While he returns with a hunger through the roof, these absences have likely hampered the continuous building of his international profile. Next at number 9 we have Caelan Doris, the Irish machine. This guy is the definition of complete. He carries heart, he tackles all day, he's smart at the breakdown, and he's a leader in Ireland's pack. But because Ireland has so many big names like Tadhg Furlong, Gary Ringrose, and James Lowe, Doris gets lost in the mix. But here's the truth. When you look at Ireland's most consistent performers over the last few years, Doris is always right there at the top. He's the type of player who doesn't make dramatic highlight clips. He just wins you games with intelligence and hard work. His peers acknowledge his quality, selecting him as the Irish Men's Players Player of the Year in 2023 and naming him in the World Rugby Men's 15's Dream Team in both 2023 and 2024. However, this high praise from insiders often doesn't translate to mainstream discussion, where the focus moves quickly onto the next major tournament or star. Doris is the ultimate modern forward. Athletic, tactically brilliant, powerful, and utterly reliable for the full 80 minutes. The fact that he's being tipped as a potential British and Irish Lions captain by legends like Kieran Reid underscores his true value, even if the public noise hasn't quite caught up to his undeniable level of influence. Coming in at number 8, it's Ben Earl, England's Energizer Bunny. If you watched the 2023 Rugby World Cup, you remember Earl. He was England's best forward by a mile. Explosive, physical, relentless, and constantly involved. Even now, in 2025, he's one of the most dynamic back rowers in Europe. Yet somehow, he's still not seen as a superstar. His expressive and celebratory nature on the pitch, reflecting his ambition to be one of the best, is not always to everyone's taste. Some prefer the more stoic, low-key approach of others, which can sometimes overshadow the elite level of performance he delivers week after week. Ben Earl is one of the most effective and hard-working players in the world, consistently performing at an extremely high level, both for Saracens and England. He is a key playmaker driving England's attack, and his full establishment as an undisputed global elite is simply a matter of the wider public catching up to the remarkable consistency and high-impact energy that he has made his baseline. He tackles like he's fighting for a job. And he has the work rate of someone who refuses to be ignored, even when he is ignored. At number 7, let's talk about Tate McDermott, one of the brightest sparks in Australian rugby. When the Wallabies hit a rebuilding phase, McDermott didn't hide, he stepped up. His speed off the base, his quick decisions, his leadership, and that trademark running game make him incredibly dangerous. But because the Wallabies have been inconsistent for a while, McDermott often gets overlooked globally. The primary reason for his underrated status often relates to critiques of his core skills, specifically his box kicking and passing. This inconsistency in core function can overshadow his unique and devastating running game and his immense impact as a game-breaker. McDermott's biggest strength, his unique attacking running game and ability to shift momentum, is so dominant that it often overshadows the foundational technical skills required of a starting international scrum half. Here's the thing. When Australia finds its rhythm again, and it will, Tate McDermott is going to be one of the key architects behind that resurgence. Sliding into number 6, we've got Damian McKenzie, the smiling assassin. Now, some people might say, is McKenzie really underrated? But here's why he absolutely is. In New Zealand, the bar is insanely high. When you've got names like Beauden Barrett, Richie Mo'unga, and Will Jordan around you, even a top-tier player like McKenzie can get overshadowed. But skill-wise, he is one of the most gifted players of his generation. While he is acknowledged as one of the best impact players in the world, The narrative built around him suggests he constantly under-delivered because he can't hold a starting spot. For many, being an impact player is still seen as a failing rather than a high-value, critical proposition in modern rugby. His own fans sometimes find his bench role hard to swallow. He is a player who makes his team win, yet the rugby establishment's preference for tactical discipline and methodical game management over sheer, creative audacity means his flair is often treated with suspicion, forcing the box office star to sit on the bench and wait for his moment to rescue the game. Coming in at number 5, Akker van der Merwe. If you want a hooker who plays with pure aggression and intensity, Akker is your guy. He hits hard. He carries harder. And he brings an attitude that lifts his whole team. But because the Springboks have world-famous forwards, guys like Malcolm Marx, Steven Kitshoff, and Eben Etzebeth, Akker often sits outside the spotlight. Van der Merwe's career coincided with an era of unparalleled depth in the Springbok hooker position, featuring multiple World Cup winners. His omission from the Springbok squad, even after delivering man-of-the-match performances in major finals, like the 2018 Currie Cup final, caused controversy among commentators. In 2018, the coach, Rassie Erasmus, explained his decision to pick the experienced Shock Brits over Van der Merwe, citing a need for balance and the veteran's experience on a European tour. The immense competition in his national team has relegated him to an overlooked figure on the international stage, making him the very definition of an underrated talent. Coming in at number 4 we have Jake Gordon, one of the most underrated scrum halves in world rugby today. Gordon is the kind of player who brings calm, structure, and speed to a team that desperately needs stability. He passes crisply, he controls tempo beautifully, and he has that veteran rugby IQ that lets him read defensive pressure before it even gets there. But here's why he's underrated. Australia has had a turbulent few years, and because of inconsistency in selection, coaching changes, and team rebuilds, players like Gordon don't always get the spotlight or continuity they deserve. Australia has a rich history of champion scrum halves, and Gordon has had to consistently prove himself against players who have often been favored by coaches or media. Most notably, he was left out of the squad for the 2023 Rugby World Cup by the former coach, despite being the captain of his Super Rugby side, the Waratahs. This omission led to questions about his future and a reported desire to pursue opportunities overseas. He's not the loudest personality, but he's one of the most reliable. And in a team still finding its identity, Jake Gordon is exactly the kind of player who should be getting way more credit. Cracking the top 3 at number 3 it's Jasper Wiese. This man is a human bulldozer. He carries like a tank, he tackles with intent, and he plays every game like it's his last. But because South Africa's back row has legends like Siya Kolisi and Pieter-Steph du Toit, Wiese rarely gets top billing. But think about this. Whenever Wiese starts, South Africa gains meters. They dominate collisions. They win breakdown battles. His work is often considered the dirty work. It involves short, punishing runs, big clear-outs at the ruck, and dominating physical collisions. These moments are essential to winning test matches, but they don't generate the same excitement as a long-range try or a brilliant offload. His impact is measured in meters made in contact and defenders beaten, statistics that require deeper analysis than a casual watch. Jasper Wiese is the specialist blunt instrument that dictates the rhythm of the Springboks game. He is recognized by his peers, having been voted the RPA Players' Player of the Year in the English game, but his relentless, low-glamour contributions continue to be essential yet ignored by the wider rugby public. He's not flashy, he's just brutally effective. At number 2 we have Samisoni Taukei'aho, the All Blacks powerhouse hooker. From the moment he broke into the squad, he changed the tempo of New Zealand's forward play, surprisingly fast and agile. So why is he underrated? Because New Zealand rotates their squad so much that Taukei'aho doesn't always get the consistent spotlight, but when he's on the field, he is elite. He is consistently one of the most effective forwards in the New Zealand team at crossing the advantage line and creating momentum in contact. On his All Blacks debut, he quickly recorded the most run meters by a forward in the game, an immediate indicator of his dynamic impact. Taukei'aho has had to constantly compete for the number 2 jersey against established, veteran legends like Dane Coles and Cody Taylor. These are players with long, high-profile careers, meaning Taukei'aho's own excellent form is often viewed through the lens of a rotation or a changing of the guard, rather than a singular, dominant performance, thus keeping him out of the headlines reserved for the most unexpected or spectacular performances. And finally, coming in at number 1, the most underrated active international rugby player in 2025, Franco Mostert. This guy is unbelievable. No matter how physically demanding the match is, no matter how long he's already been on the field, Mostert just keeps going. He's known for 3 things. Number 1, an insane tackle count. Number 2, endless work rate. Number 3, being everywhere on the field at once. But because South Africa's team is stacked with superstars, Mostert doesn't always get the spotlight, even though he's one of the most valuable players in their entire system. If you removed him from the lineup, the Springboks would feel it immediately. Franco Mostert is the quintessential unsung hero of the Springboks, a player whose massive, indispensable contributions are often overshadowed by the more explosive, headline-grabbing performances of his teammates. He is rarely given the credit he deserves. That's number 1, Franco Mostert, the king of underrated players. And there you have it, the top 10 most underrated rugby players in 2025, with every entry confirmed as an active international. What do you think? Did your favorite underrated player make the cut? Or is there someone you believe deserves a spot on this list? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to hit the subscribe for more. See you in the next video.